Good morning. I almost forgot. It's the day of the week that we call Hump Day. Bam! We are excited.
Do your thing, David. Do your thing.
You haven't ever been with me when I did Hump Day, did
I
you?
haven't. Can I get it again?
You step back.
Okay.
Hump Day!
Well, you're going to blow everyone away in the newsroom with that.
It's Wednesday. We've made it halfway through the week. This is great stuff. Hi, how are you? Good
I'm
to see you.
doing well.
Right.
How are you this morning?
Where's everybody? I don't know where everybody else is, but it's you and me, and that's all that really matters right
And
now.
you got all the energy this morning,
Well,
let me tell you.
It's been a good week so far.
Yeah?
So it's been a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
It's rodeo. Can't go wrong with rodeo.
And you were doing science with Sarah earlier,
we were doing
weren't
science with
you?
Sarah with second graders today. We had second graders and we made catapults.
No wonder you're so
And
awake and lively right now. Yeah.
Have you hung out with some second graders lately?
I mean, I've had a second grader before.
You don't have,
so
how old are yours?
one's 13, past second grade, and then I have two that are not in school yet. So.
They're almost, so see, you understand.
Pretty soon, but
The
yes,
young
they're
ones,
full of
you get
energy.
them,
So
like all over the place. They were smart too.
they've passed it on to you this morning.
It's like good stuff. So
I'm here for it, David.
all right.
Well, we do
What
have
do we got today?
We have a lot of news to get into, including a viral video that's showing just how devastating the drought is over at Medina Lake.
Have you seen Medina Lake lately?
I haven't
You've
been.
seen this video?
I've seen the video, but I haven't been in person. So yeah,
man.
a homeowner shared his own experience on
Yeah.
TikTok, and that video has just gone viral.
It's like here we go again. It's like this is not the first time this has ever happened over
No,
there.
it's
but
not.
Still, it's absolutely amazing. So we'll show you that video in just a second. We're also give you an update on the fatal shootings at Michigan State University and talking the 2021 winter freeze. We can't let that go because this is the week we were all going nowhere. We were all
Nowhere.
staying home 2 years ago.
Exactly. I saw some of my recaps from like social media back then. I'm like, geez, I can't believe it's been 2 years already.
Wow.
But yeah, we're gonna definitely get into that. But first, we do have some new information regarding Andre McDonald and the plea deal he just accepted a little under an hour ago.
Wow. A little more than a week after Andre McDonald was sentenced to 20 years in prison on manslaughter charges, he's back in court this morning, this time facing a tampering with evidence charge related to his wife, Andreen McDonald's death. McDonald took the plea deal for 5 years.
And that's going to be added on top of the 20 years that he got for manslaughter. That was last week that we were kind of in the courtroom following that entire trial along. So yes, 5 additional years for Andre McDonald. KSAT 12 court reporter Erica Hernandez will be live at noon, and she'll be giving you more information on this particular deal that he's accepted.
And we will look forward to that from her, and hope you'll join us for KSAT 12 News at noon in just a few minutes. But in the meantime, we want to talk about Michigan. And that's where we're learning that the names of the 3 killed in that shooting that took place Monday night. Overnight, students turning out for a vigil to remember sophomore Brian Frazier, who was president of his fraternity, and junior Alexandra Werner, an athlete known for her kindness as well.
Also, junior Ariel Diamond Anderson, who wanted to be a surgeon. So 5 other students remain hospitalized in critical condition from the shooting. An exact motive remains unclear, and the investigation is continuing. One staggering statistic to consider is that mass shootings in schools in just the last 5 years are up 150%.
That is pretty staggering.
So this is an instance where it's obviously unfortunate, but it's something that we have become unfortunately used to. I don't want to say that, but it just happens so often. It's awful.
It's becoming more and more familiar.
Familiar is the term to use.
We end up talking about it way too much. So, and I think there's so many different elements that become involved. I mean, there's always the discussion about guns, and there's discussion about mental health. But I think there's so many things that need to come together to solve this problem. I don't think it's just one thing that happens. I think there's a lot that's involved in this entire process of trying to cut down on these violent acts.
And then another thing that I was reading on this particular story is that they found some sort of letter on the gunman. He actually did die of a self-inflicted gunshot wound, but they found a letter that stated he may have been planning to target 2 other schools. So don't know what exactly happened that stopped him from carrying out the rest of the acts, but yeah.
Fortunately, he didn't. So.
Fortunately, he didn't,
Right.
and we just want to say that hopefully these people who are still in the hospital, they make a full recovery. And again, it's one of those things we don't want to run into again. But yeah, we're waiting to learn what else the investigation turns up here.
All right, let's bring it home. Now, this is some very interesting video. It's a TikTok video, and it's gone viral. And we've been talking about Medina Lake for a long time, but this one exactly shows the drought and the impact that it's had on this lake, and especially the people that are actually living around the lake. They thought they were going to have a nice lake, a nice dock, nice house, go boating all the time, and no.
That didn't turn out to be the case. So this video was posted February 7th by the account Joel's Talks, and it has more than 1 million likes already. So the caption reads,
Whoa.
"Remember when life was good in 2019 and I bought this lake house property?" So you can see at the time that lake level was full. It was high. It was thriving. Well, fast forward 4 years and there is such a big difference. The TikTok video ends with a hopeful wish from the creator saying, hopefully it rains in 2023.
Here's what's amazing about this is I've been here for 4 decades, 5 decades, and I don't know that I've ever seen Medina Lake fluctuate this much that it has over the last like 10 years. Because remember before 2019, before we shot that video, had that video of the lake being full. Remember there was a drought before that,
Yes.
and the lake was reaching near record lows. I think it was at one point, and we can ask Justin because he's done a lot of stories on this. I think at one point it was less than 5% full.
Yeah.
And you could walk, I mean, you weren't even getting in mud. I mean, it was just dry, the bottom. I mean, there might be a little spot of water here and a little spot of water there, but and then we had all those floods and all that rain, and it filled right back up. And now we've been in a drought, it's going back down. But I've never seen it fluctuate this much until like the last, I guess the last 10 years or so. So that's amazing. So,
Well-
and it was never built for recreation.
No, it wasn't, but it is used for that
Yeah?
all the time. I mean, even my own family takes their jet skis out there and they have so much fun, they fish, they do all the things.
Right.
But yeah, for people living on the lake, imagine you bought your property for a lake house and then it's just like crisp and dry out.
It's amazing because actually it was built as a reservoir way back in 1913, and they put a dam in there and it created a pool for the local farmers to draw water from to irrigate their crops, and that's why it was never really a recreational lake to begin with. It was
No.
more for farmers and
Functional,
and
yeah.
crops and things like that, and it turned out to be a pretty nice recreational lake when there's water in it.
But not now. Well, I just wanted to read some of the comments to this viral TikTok. So one person says, "I've got like 7 water bottles in various stages of fullness on my nightstand. Will that help?" It's like, no.
Anything like that. That's a good one.
Another person says 2019 was the last time things were good.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it's 1.2 or 1.5 million views. So a lot of people are commenting to this TikTok. We actually have the video posted on KSAT.com if you want to go watch it in full with the narration.
And of course, this particular person living out there posted that video, but you can probably find hundreds of people that can post the same video.
Oh, for sure.
So, I mean, it's kudos to him for putting that out there and getting all the attention. But it brings a lot of attention to that lake and Mother Nature.
Exactly. And then you mentioned,
farmers.
so we've done a bunch of stories
Yeah.
with people out there, so you can also just read some of those on KSAT.com. But yeah, I think it's one of these situations that we'll constantly be monitoring, and hopefully we are right with the creator. We want rain too.
We need some rain. What we don't need is another freeze to shut us down like 2 years ago. Where were you 2 years ago this week?
Well, so I mentioned this at the top of the show. I had a recap. It was like Valentine's Day week, so it was really cold, but we stayed home because I had a brand new baby. So we were home enjoying Valentine's Day, and I remember the icing on the cake, if you will, at that time, because we didn't know what was to come, was the snow. We took my older daughter outside. We were playing in the snow. It was really nice. Where were you?
I was, let's see, on the 15th, I was probably stuck in my house. But I'm trying to remember, because there was the storm that hit, and then it kind of let up, and then it came on a Sunday night, and it just nailed us. And that Monday morning, our electricity went off, and we lost water, and I was
Yes.
stuck at home for a whole week, couldn't move.
It was really
Nowhere to
crazy.
go.
I remember I mentioned we had a brand new baby, and we tried to stick it out at my house with no power, but it was just absolutely freezing, as many Texans remember. But yeah, we had to go stay with a relative. So if that were ever to happen again, how would San Antonio handle it?
I hope we are better prepared than we were 2 years ago. The city of San Antonio says They have made major improvements, especially in communication between utility companies and emergency responders. There's also an updated registry for the people who are going to actually need the help the most if some of this situation ever happens again.
So more recent weather events have prompted additional policy upgrades. City people who live here say that they've learned a valuable lesson, but the next emergency will test that. So ERCOT and the Utility Commission of Texas have also implemented updates to improve facilities across the state.
So this is kind of a special KNN on Wednesday, hump day, because we've hit 2 weather-type stories going right into Justin Horn. How about that? Are we on it or what?
You guys are the best.
We are on it.
Say that.
So
No,
we're
you're
talking
the
about the
best.
drought in Medina Lake, and we're talking about 2 years ago getting frozen in.
Frozen in. But now he has a Weather 101 for us, it looks like.
Okay.
I do. Oh,
What's happening there?
Oh, what
we're
happened?
getting a zoomed-in shot.
There we go. All right, so you got a trivia question?
We do. So you guys, of course, we're talking about the winter storm. We're going to switch over to wind, okay?
Okay.
Because we got some gusty winds headed our way tomorrow. So follow me here. Wind gusts are defined by peaks and lulls over a short period of time. What's the biggest reason for the inconsistency? In other words, why is the wind kind of stop and go and pick up and then pick up again, kind of back and forth? So is it because of the spin of the earth, the moon? Scientists don't know. Or is it because of friction? What do you think?
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
This is kind of a tough one today.
How much time I got? Okay, the moon, we know that has everything to do with tides. So I'm not sure it would be tides and wind. So I'm going to eliminate the moon.
Okay.
I'm going to go
You're
right
going to
off
eliminate? I was actually going to pick the moon. Yeah.
Okay, well you pick the moon, but I'm eliminating the moon. The Earth, the spin of the Earth is not going that fast. I mean, where you can get these 45-mile-an-hour gusts. So we're not spinning where we could fly off the Earth.
Okay.
I kind of wish you would have picked that one. Just
Spin of the Earth. Justin, I have no earthly.
All right. You want
like that? No earthly. I'm going with friction.
Okay, friction.
Friction.
Okay. Friction.
okay.
You know what? That's right.
Darn.
You actually, I like the process of elimination. That was well done. So winds are more uniform as you rise up and away from the Earth's surface. They're blowing the same speed up above the Earth's surface, but it's because of buildings and topography that the wind starts to fluctuate where we are here on the surface.
But here's one for you. We can't
Yeah.
actually see the wind.
That's true, unless you live in Lubbock.
Well,
you can see it.
Well, no, but you can't see the wind. You can see the results of the wind.
That's correct.
Right?
That's correct.
But you can't see the actual wind.
That's correct.
You
Yeah.
can see trees blowing. You can see
Yeah.
stuff flying through the air. Dust coming into your potatoes for dinner at Lubbock.
Potatoes.
I don't know. Did people see your picture yesterday of what was going on in Lubbock?
I think I posted it. Yeah,
Man,
it was
that
dusty.
was a big time spring dust storm we posted yesterday.
Well, guess what?
I just learned friction. I'm also learning that next Weather 101, I'm just going to follow you because you
Okay.
seem to know a lot about weather as well. So
I listen.
He likes to dig in when it comes to weather. But anyway, the reason I bring wind up is we got a lot more wind coming up tomorrow. In fact, tomorrow could be windier than it was yesterday, if you can believe that. So what we're waiting on today is for these clouds to dissipate. We had some fog earlier. The clouds are trying to thin out here. I say we got another hour or so before the sun pops out. But the sun's going to do some work today because temperatures are going to jump up from where they are now. We're at 67 here in San Antonio. I think we get in the 80s later today. And the numbers where we're already seeing sun, 79 Junction, 73 Rock Springs, 73 in Uvalde. And then we're right around 70 here in San Antonio. Once that sun pops out, which again should be fairly shortly, you'll see these numbers jump up in a big way. We think that we're up around 82 this afternoon. Look at Carrizo Springs, 90. It's going to be toasty today, but it's just one day because a cold front comes through tonight and changes everything. We think that's around midnight. Temperatures 48 tomorrow morning, but that's with a gusty north wind. And tomorrow afternoon, we only get up to 59. So we go from 82 today to 59 tomorrow. That is some great Texas weather right there. So 82 today, warm and breezy, and then tomorrow 59 for high with gusty northerly winds gusting to 40 miles per hour. 23-degree temperature difference. Don't get caught off guard. When you go to school or work tomorrow, grab the coats. Here's a look at the futurecast wind, and this is probably the most important forecast here. Gusts close to 30 by midnight once the front comes through. By tomorrow morning, we're seeing gusts around 40 miles per hour. The trash cans, they'll be rolling right down the road if you're not careful here. It's one of those days. And the winds will start to subside some by midday. It'll probably take until this evening and tomorrow night to see those winds completely go away. And when you got the gusty winds, plus low humidity, which we're going to see tomorrow, we got a big-time fire threat out west. Places like Del Rio, extreme fire risk tomorrow. And it's one of those days where if there is any sort of spark or flame or grass fire, these things are going to spread so very quickly. We've got to be very careful tomorrow, especially west of San Antonio. So just a heads up there. 7-day forecast. You see the temperature change today versus tomorrow, 56 Friday. After starting off close to freezing, we'll see some clouds over the weekend, and then we're back in the 80s next week. So lots of changes in 7-day forecast.
Wind, so we'll see the wind, but we won't, what would you say? What did you say?
We don't see
We'll
the
feel it,
wind.
we won't see
Yeah,
it.
no, we'll feel it, but
Something
we won't
like that.
see it.
And he's talking about 80s, so that's a perfect segue into our next story because it feels like we could be going to the beach sometime pretty soon with these 80-degree temperatures. So here's a new story coming out of Padre Island. What do you think about people actually driving on the beach? Should they or should they not be able to drive on the beach anymore?
Maybe certain spots.
So, like I said, if you go down there, you see a lot of people going down there. So that could be changing soon because the Padre Island National Seashore is asking for your input on possible changes to the park, including limiting that beach driving.
So too many cars on the beach can negatively impact visitor experience, and also it's dangerous to the environment. Sea turtle crews work every day to keep vehicle traffic away from the turtles that nest there. But officials are going to be hosting a series of in-person meetings to discuss the issue.
There's one going to be happening right here in San Antonio at Mission San Jose. That'll be next Thursday, the 23rd. If you'd like some more information about the meeting and the changes, looking to be made. All you got to do is go to our website, KSAT.com. Should we or should we not be driving on Padre Island?
What's your opinion?
I don't think so.
No?
No.
Well, there you go.
Beaches are made for walking and hanging out.
Yeah, that's very true.
We
don't need a parade of cars.
I don't think we need a parade of cars anymore, but that's just so. All right.
Well, we will see you tomorrow at 11, and coming up at noon, the charges one former Spurs player is now facing after he is arrested overnight, plus seasonal allergy